welcome back to Rise on the Road.
This week we are in Mobile, Alabama with this gorgeous view.
Let's see what we did here. It took 5 hours to travel the 300 miles from Madison, Florida to Mobile, Alabama. We stayed at Mare State Park. Mare State Park is on an island, and our campsite was right on the water of Mobile Bay. Since we were so close to the water, there were many warning signs of alligators that live in the water, but we didn't see any. At this site, we saw so many glorious sunsets. My dad bought an inflatable nativity as a Christmas decoration.
Gemma, why are you throwing away your math book?
Goodbye, math book. It is because I have finished it. Goodbye, thumb.
We went on a quick walk to the boardwalk at the state park. We looked for alligators, but we didn't see any.
On the way back from the boardwalk, we went to an activity hosted by a ranger. She showed and told us about some of the turtles in the area.
We visited the Five Rivers Delta Center. It was right across the street from the campground. It had lots of taxidermy animals and information on this area of Alabama. Besides the taxidermy animals, there were lots of live animals too. They had turtles, a mouse, a possum, a baby alligator, a screech owl, and a small hawk called a kestrel. We went to the Explorium Science Center. There were multiple sections, including one about the body. This is not the best science museum we have been to, but they had some cool things.
The night following the museum was a big storm. There's a severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado watch, and a coastal flood advisory. Thankfully, there was not a tornado or a flood in our area. There was a big thunderstorm though. It's a good thing there are windshield wipers on our car. It was very windy. During the storm, my dad and I opened the door to see the suction. He is strong and he was trembling. I, on the other hand, lost my grip. The door flew away from me and I could not close it because of the wind pulling against me. Afterward, the whole walkway of our RV was soaked, not to mention me. The storm ended late at night. On Thursday, we went to visit my parents' friends from church. Their names are Rosemary and Ryan. First, we went to the house they're building. Then we went for lunch at Fusakli's. Finally, we went to the house they are renting and met the dogs, bearded dragon, and 2 hedgehogs. They were so cute. The next day, we went to the USS Alabama Museum. There was the USS Alabama to explore, but first we went to see the submarine USS Drum. I have a confession to make. I do not want to live in a submarine, or at least not in this one. It was super small. Could you imagine cooking for 72 people 3 meals a day in this kitchen? There's a nice area to eat food and play cards though. After we explored the submarine, we headed over to the USS Alabama. This ship had some pretty big guns and cannons, not to mention bullets. This kitchen is much bigger than the last. That is reasonable, because this ship has 34 times more people than the USS Drum, rounding out to about 2,500 people on the USS Alabama. My mom really likes cooking. She found out the fact that they made 320 gallons of coffee each day. There's a lot to learn. The sunset was beautiful too. We stopped in Tallahassee as a halfway point. We were staying on a very beautiful county park. In the morning, we went to church.
I put the Alabama sticker on the back of the trailer.
Alabama's got it going on. Mare State Park was one of the nicest parks we've been to and a steal at the price point. The rangers were super helpful giving us tips for the area regarding the storm, and the waterfront spot couldn't be beat. We learned a lot about Alabama at the Five Rivers exhibit, which focused on the species diversity. Did you know that since scientists started keeping track of animal species, over 100 have gone extinct in the U.S., more than half of which were in Alabama? Alabama has an amazing array of biodiversity, number 5 in the nation. But despite this, Alabama only preserves 4% of its land and waterways for the future. Compare this to 47% of California. Hopefully, more can be done to preserve the ecology that remains for future generations, because what little we saw was stunning. Our extra expenses this week were pretty minimal, but there is much more we'd like to explore.
It was cool staying on an island.
See you next week on Rise on the Road.
Bye!